Hi everyone, we're gonna see if we can get this to work. Oh,
there we go.
Oh, wait.
Woo!
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Almost.
All right.
Aha.
I want a major. Ooh, it's backwards though.
That's fun.
Shoot. How do we do that? How do we fix that? Okay. Well, you guys are just gonna have to look at things backwards for this time around before we figure this out. Is there any way to mirror these? Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it right now. Okay, Natalie, you have to get in here. Hi everyone. We're going to be talking about ISTE 2015 because we just got back last night at 1 o'clock. That's why we look the way we do. Really tired. So this is, I'm EdTech Yoda, and this is Ms. Wojo. And a huge shout out to Phil's Coffee here in Berkeley because they are helping us go today because this wouldn't be happening without them. We're actually here right now. If you want to drop by, we're at Phil's Coffee on Gilman.
9th and Gilman.
9th and Gilman. Come on by. This is their newest location, I think. Anyway, so there are 3 of you there. If you have any questions, just go ahead and you're going to just type them into the little box there. This is awesome. We're doing this for the first time. We're going to see how this goes. So, anyway, shall we?
Yes.
Okay. So, go ahead. We're gonna listen. We're going to talk about design.
Okay, so one of the things that I took away from the whole conference was our visit to Ben Franklin's print shop over here, is that design matters. And, you know, back in Ben Franklin's day, you set individual pieces of type, you know, you varied the size of the type depending on what your message was. You varied the spacing between the lines of text and things like that. And design still matters for readability and for people to understand things. Yesterday, for example, I went to this great session on infographics. And we talked about how important it is to put everything together in a usable fashion. I like put everything together.
Yes.
Put everything together in a usable fashion, or it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter how good your data is if you don't present it in a way that is understandable, then nobody's going to look at it.
Exactly.
So, you know, the more things change, the more they stay the same. So even though we're doing stuff on computers, it still matters the way it looks.
That's right. All right, so next thing is, oh God, and this is all backwards. Sorry, folks. I will put this out on the blog later. And the blog will be soon, travelswithyoda.net. Travelswithyoda.net. Yoda, yeah. So, what I really appreciated was that we had conversations about EdTech's role in discussing race, Black Lives Matter, and educolor.org is something that I learned about from Refrans Davis. Here's her name right here. I know it's backwards. Sorry. And we have the EduColor movement and also hashtag EduColor.
Ooh, look, we have
Check
5
it out.
viewers.
Ooh, hi guys. So what's cool is that there are actually great resources there for everyone. So go check out educolor.org. A lot of great resources for having some difficult conversations with your students. So definitely check that out. Another thing, oh gosh, that's totally backwards. So we have different ways to learn. That's what we saw at ISTE. ISTE is so big, 20,000 participants, that they have to have different ways to disseminate information. So there were posters. So basically what that was a big room full of tables and people with posters, unless you were Alice Keeler and you had a fancy, hey Alice, a fancy projector, and she projected her poster, which was really great.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, very
anyway,
cool.
So, or they had physical posters and they were talking about specific things. And what's great about that is that it tends to be small group, unless you're Alice and you have like 1 million people watching your poster session, and you can ask them questions. So I like the posters. The only problem we found with the posters was that it tended to be kind of loud, and we would like to see kind of what Google did at their booth, which was have those headphones, the wireless headphones, so that you could still hear the presenter. That'd be really cool if they had those at the poster sessions next year. I know it's kind of expensive.
And posters have everything from university research to what a kindergarten teacher did in her classroom. There were students there presenting with their teachers on different tech-infused projects that they had done in their classes. So it was just a little bit of something for everybody.
And that was the best part about the posters, I thought, was that the kids were there showing what they had done.
A lot of kids, which is really great. And there were a lot of kids just walking around, and international kids, so kids from all over the place. It was really great. Yeah.
Also, there were the playgrounds. I participated in the EdTech Coach Playground. So basically, a playground is an area set aside. It's smaller than the poster area. There are different tables, and every hour they switch. And those tables are talking about all kinds of things. There was someone right next to me who was talking about how she uses Pinterest for EdTech coaching. So there were a lot of things there, a lot of great things there, and I'll tweet out the information on how to get all of that information that was from all of those sessions that were in the playgrounds. But they're very short, and they're very, very small groups, so a lot of times you could just ask whatever questions you needed. The next thing was Ignite. So Ignite is you have 20 slides and you have 5 minutes. I actually presented an Ignite for the second round, which was Monday morning, very early. And what's great about Ignite is that that's what it does. It ignites your thoughts and ignites your inspiration. And that's what I really loved about Ignite, because I have a short attention span and 5 minutes is about all I can handle. So I saw some really great Ignites from, oh gosh, I don't remember everyone's name, but it was great. I live tweeted the whole first session of Ignites, and that was really great. So check those out.
And Ignite sessions are more about ideas rather than particular things that you did in your classroom or that you're researching or anything like that. It's more about the big ideas in education, not just related to technology, but just in general, like helping kids find their passion. I saw several variations on that over a couple of days, and that was just awesome.
Yeah, and I did mine actually on teaching our teachers to fish instead of giving them fish, and that actually led into a little bit about solidarity, not charity. You can look that up. Anyway, but all the Ignites will be online, I believe, July 22nd, so you can watch all of those, and those are really, really great. So then there were also traditional sessions, so I think they called them Listen and Learn or something like that, and panels as well.
Yeah.
There were a lot of those. So one thing that we took away from that is, how can we change our own PD using these different ways of training? So how could we have posters at a school?
Mm-hmm.
How could we have playgrounds at a school? How could we have Ignite sessions at a school or a group of schools or in a district? And we'd really like to see too that we try these things this year, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next thing, vendor pop-ups.
These were awesome.
These are great. So not everyone was in the vendor hall. We had people like Nuzella. Nuzella had, they just kind of were walking around with their t-shirts on, and they were awesome. They were really great.
And if you went up and talked to them, they gave you a t-shirt.
They gave you a t-shirt. That's really cool too. We also had the Remind people. Reminder, also awesome. Also did not have a booth, and that's totally okay. These are the pop-ups. They were really cool.
And they would send out a remind notice to remind you that they were going to be doing a pop-up and tell you where they were going to be, and you had to show up and find them and talk to them and answer the secret question, and then you...
And there were also, and you can't see this, this is my Gangnam Style dance button. And this was given to me by Padlet. Go Padlet. There was one guy there from Padlet, Sun Yang. Hey, ni hao. So the great thing about Padlet, they're just basically a 3-person business. They're great. They're really responsive. And I sat down and had a 20-minute conversation with this guy about teachers at West Contra Costa Unified and what we'd like to see Padlet do in the future. And he was very responsive. They're great.
Awesome.
So, hi Nitesh. And also, let's see, what else? One more. Plickers. The Plickers people also were walking around. Plickers is awesome. Check out Plickers people. And then, of course, there was Go Noodle. Go Noodle was a blast. They had really great, they had I
haven't seen that shirt.
Morning yoga at Starbucks. They also had, I know,
missed that.
I know. And they also had a really great pop-up happy hour at Milk Boy in Philadelphia, which was awesome. And they gave great swag there too. But the great thing about Go Noodle is it's all about activity. A lot of fun and brain breaks for kids. So make sure you check out Go Noodle. I'd like to say that, it was like food trucks. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, it's a lot like food trucks, where you have to kind of watch Twitter and see where they're going to be. All the cool kids were doing vendor pop-ups.
So, do we have any questions from anybody?
Are there any questions? You guys can go ahead and type questions. We don't have any questions. They haven't come up.
Or questions from our live audience. We do have a live audience too.
Any so far questions from the live audience?
Oh, I just keep looking up everything you bring up.
Okay. There will be a list later, I promise. Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's really great. Okay, so the next thing, tools versus pedagogy.
Oh my gosh. So
go, Natalie.
Yeah. So one of the things that I kept thinking, and several participants blogged about and presenters blogged about later, is that oftentimes you go into a session and it was. There was a lot of discussion about tools, and the tools came first, and then the pedagogy, and really. I've been thinking a lot about how we should be at the point where we're looking at the pedagogy first and then looking at, okay, are there any tech tools or which tech tools are the most appropriate for the standards that we're working on right now, rather than, oh, I want to use this particular tool. So it's still, it can be a little bit frustrating, I think, still at this point, for teachers to be told that, oh, you have to use technology in your classroom. I don't know, do you get that? You need to use technology in your classroom. Here's this great new tool to use, rather than working with, these are things that you're already doing in your classroom. Is there a way that we can infuse technology into it to enhance what you're already doing?
Right.
Rather than replace it or whatever. But this is a serious conversation that we need to have as educators, and really think it through, and not just use the tools because they're bright and shiny and fun and colorful and all of that.
Exactly.
But because they work for student achievement.
Right. And we have to remember, right? It's about changing, right? It's
Yeah.
about making
Yeah.
these changes, and it's not about tools, because this is the thing too. If you learned about a tool and you start using it, and it could be gone in a year.
Oh,
it really could
yeah,
be gone.
yeah.
So you really have to think about, how is that tool instead changing the way that you teach, and how would you do it without that tool? That's another thing too that you have to think about.
Right.
All right, so shout outs. We got some shout outs to people. And if you have shout outs from ISTE, I know you can't really see it, but hashtag post ISTE2015 shout out. Okay, here we go. And I don't know why I'm not seeing your questions, so I'm sorry about this. We're gonna figure all this out. New tool, people. All right, here we go. So, Coffee EDU. This is really great. Anyone can have a Coffee EDU anywhere. This was the brainchild of Alice Keeler. I'm going to talk about her in a minute. And Coffee EDU is just a place for people to come together and chat about things. We're actually having a sort of Coffee EDU right now, except that we're broadcasting. So hopefully we're going to have a Coffee EDU coming up for those people who are in the Berkeley area. There goes the train. The Berkeley area who want to get together and talk about these things. So we're going to have a Coffee EDU coming up, and maybe a Brew EDU or Brew Q. I think they're called Brew Qs. Hey.
Meh.
Okay, here we go. Next thing, Alice Keeler. If you're not following Alice Keeler, I don't know who you're following. She's awesome. She's got a lot of great stuff out there. Also go to alicekeeler.com. That's about all I have to say. You just have to go check it out. Alice Keeler's the best. We love her. ISTE Unplugged. Go on Twitter and check out all the tweets from hashtag HackEd2015. This is an unconference that happens the day before ISTE starts. If you're going to go to ISTE next year in Denver, definitely check them out. It's great. I go every year. It's great. Okay, let's see. Oh, Not at ISTE. Oh, yeah. Big shout out to the Not at ISTE people. You guys were great. You were super supportive, and I felt like I was there for you, and I loved being there for you. It was really great, especially Craig Yen. Great. You are going to be at ISTE next year. We're going to make sure that happens. I think we all should just crowdfund it. bottom line.
Yeah.
And actually, that's another shout out, and I do have their card. Pledge Cents. PLEDGECENTS, like cents, like dollars and cents. So Pledge Cents, they actually did help people crowdfund the money to go to ISTE. So definitely check them out. Oh yeah, they're awesome. Some people had t-shirts on. I was like, what's your t-shirt say? And it's because they were funded by Pledge Cents. So check them out too. All right, here we go. Shout out to the Phillies. What a beautiful stadium. We had ISTE Ball, hashtag ISTE Ball. I actually got a bunch of people together. 95 people bought tickets. And we all got together and had a really great time at the Phillies game. So next year,
it was awesome.
Look forward to a Rockies game, hopefully, if they're going to be in town. Shout out to the city of Philadelphia.
The entire
we love
city.
You. The entire city. We love you.
Awesome.
Major, brotherly, sisterly, everyone love. I love Philadelphia. It's a great place. We had a really great time. The food was off the chain. It was so amazing. Really great Italian food, really great gastropub food, local beer. They have it all. I love Philadelphia. It was great. The rain was crazy. Of course, we would say that because we're not used to it. Okay, and last but not least, shout out to Rocky. He's an inspiration because remember, he's an underdog. We're all, honestly, in public education, a lot of us are like underdogs. You just can't give up. You got to be like Rocky. You got to do that run. That was something that we did. We actually ran. Oh,
there we go.
We ran up the stairs
with the red headbands.
Yeah. So be like Rocky. Be like Rocky. Be the underdog and just keep fighting and never give up.
Ever.
You have anything else to share?
We were going to talk about
swag.
Yeah.
Some more swag.
So I got from the Comic Life people, I got this nifty little wristband thing. It's an 8 GB jump drive. Woohoo! Which is kind of cool. And then the McGraw Hill people. Thank you, Helena.
What's in there?
It is.
Oh, nice.
A USB charger and a car charger thing. Yeah.
Very
and
nice.
they also there was also a stylus. I don't know what happened to that.
Oh, I got a stylus somewhere.
So and then also I was a VIP for EdTech karaoke.
Very cool.
That was this is just a really cool badge. It was kind of fun to walk around with it in the vendor hall, and everybody could see the VIP. So I felt very important.
Brain Pop.
Moby.
Totally cool Moby t-shirt. I went to a really great session called So You Think You Know Brain Pop. It was awesome. There's so much stuff there. It's crazy. So make sure you check out Brain Pop Educators. And what I really loved was the quiz mixer. Check that out. That's really cool. And if you have Brain Pop, we do in West Contra Costa. We do for younger kids.
Yeah.
So
Not
we
for
can
high
talk
school.
about that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so remember, sorry this is not backwards. I'm at EdTech Yoda. I did just this morning change my name again. So if you're already following me as Techwitty or EdTech Laurie, I've just changed it. You're still following me. So thanks a lot, folks. Sorry I didn't see questions. I don't know if there were any. I think I may have screwed something up and pressed a button I shouldn't have, but whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. And go ahead and tweet us questions later. Thanks, guys. Bye. Bye.